All right, welcome back to Valley por Vida. Now, a lot of us struggle with or know somebody that struggles with obesity. Now, it's hard to talk about, especially for many of us here in the Valley, knowing now that the city of McAllen has an increasing rate when it comes to those affected by it personally. But our team had the chance to speak with a medical professional about the different ways that we approach this issue for the benefit of our quality of life and overall health.
There was a new study that was done recently involving many communities that was with the concept of investigating why we have such a high prevalence and incidence of diabetes. Here, what they found in our Rio Grande Regional Valley, which is really going to be the McAllen-Edinburg region, which is what was really studied, is that they found that they classified us as the highest amount of diabetics per capita, which includes also morbid obesity. So the main thing about obesity is that we have to remember that obesity is really a measure of your body mass, which means how much fat plus total weight do you have versus the height of a patient. And based on that calculation, we have a graphic, and then that graph is going to give us a BMI schedule, which is the body mass index of patients. So a patient that is taller obviously can have a higher weight versus the majority of our South Texas residents that we're not quite short like we used to be, but yet we're not as tall as other communities. So when we take into account how obesity is going to be correlated with diabetes, the majority of the time we have to take a step back and understand exactly what diabetes is. So diabetes is a metabolic disorder. And this metabolic disorder, what it means is that we have an issue where patients are going to be eating food as we normally do, and that food is going to contain one of three substances or a combination, which is going to be our proteins, our fats, and our carbohydrates that we translate into sugars. When we have an overabundance or a imbalance of this amounts of sugar / carbohydrates that we're eating, then we can have metabolic disorders because the body's not able to handle them. And the concept of diabetes is an unbalanced diet that at one point gets to where our diabetic patients have a higher incidence of carbohydrates in their diet. So higher carbohydrates in the diet equates more incidence of diabetes. In turn, higher incidence of carbohydrates in the diet also equates to obesity.
There's actually one medical facility that's dedicated to helping patients of the Rio Grande Valley fight obesity as well as other medical health issues. Our friends over at South Texas Health System are always actively involved in our local RGV community, and they've got exciting and new things happening that'll, as always, be very helpful for us.
Good morning. My name is Lance Ames. I'm the CEO at our South Texas Health System Edinburg and South Texas Health System Children's Hospitals. We're very excited to have you all with us this morning to talk about the opening of our brand new patient tower here at our Edinburg campus. So our team has been working together for more than 4 years to be able to design this brand new tower to make sure that we've got the right pieces in place, the right experience for our new patients. And it's just been a wonderful experience and an incredible journey to bring together the brilliant minds that we have from our nursing team, from our physician leadership, to be able to create a new experience for our patients in this beautiful new tower. So 4 years in the works is going to be well worth the wait for all the patients of the Rio Grande Valley. The new patient tower is going to be able to provide a much more comfortable experience for our patients. It's really hard for anyone to be in the hospital. We've experienced so many different things through the pandemic, and so we wanted to create an environment that is much more peaceful, relaxing, incorporating the natural light into our hospital so that our patients can have the best level of care possible. One neat thing about the new tower is that we're placing it closer to Trenton and Sugar, so it'll be more easily accessible to our patients who are coming in, as well as for our EMS and ambulance providers. So it'll be more visible, easy to come into, and then once you get inside the building, we have laid out the floor plan to be able to really have a nice flow. From the time you come into the ER, you'll be met immediately by triage nurses and be able to see your physician within 10 to 15 minutes. We're excited for the whole Rio Grande Valley to be able to come here and to experience what we've created with this new patient tower. Every little detail matters when it comes to your experience here, and we want you to know that a lot of heart, a lot of thought has gone into making this an incredible healthcare environment for the Valley. When you come into our rooms, we've incorporated a lot more natural light. So you'll see in the windows, they're a lot bigger, and it just helps with that healing process. It's a lot more of a holistic approach to healthcare. We've added dimmable light switches, so you can control how much light you want in your room. It's not all on or all off, it's dimmable. We've also incorporated some technology for lifting. So for bariatric lifts, we've installed ceiling-mounted bariatric lifts, which will really improve the experience for our staff as well as for our patients. So we really just want the community to know that we're ready to take care of the Rio Grande Valley. This tower will enable us to be able to take care of our community now and well into the future with the areas of growth that we've built into this tower. The technology is top of the line, whether it's radiology, where we've brought in a brand new interventional radiology suite. We have the 3T MRI, which is the highest level MRI in the Valley.
And now just a couple generic health tips for us all to keep in mind. According to WHO.int, it can really help our overall health when we are cognizant of consuming less salt and sugar. Whenever we take in a lot of either one or both, it can have an adverse effect on our blood pressure and even cause heart disease or stroke. I know it can be hard to follow this rule when the food we eat is a little bit bland or uninteresting. Trust me, I know, but it's better to eat natural food than to risk causing future health problems over flavor. The site also says that we shouldn't drink too many soft drinks or juices with added ingredients. Instead, we should focus on drinking as much water as we possibly can. It's not only hydrating, which has a lot of benefits in itself, but it's truly healthy for our overall body well-being. And we should actively work to reduce our fat intake when it comes to the foods that we consume too. The site recommends that we only eat less than 30% of fat when it comes to our total energy intake. And this will really help us to control our weight in an effort to promote a healthy internal environment for your body to serve you. Plus, we can try to opt for unsaturated fats that are natural, like, those found in fish, avocado, nuts, soybeans also, and olive oils, just instead of the bad fats. Of course, the bad fats are something similar to what we'd find in food like cheese, meat, pizza, cookies, and fried meals. So just be careful with what you put in your mouth and try to be as aware as possible. And on the topic of beverages, the site recommends that we avoid harmful uses of alcohol too. See, consuming alcohol can really lead to health problems and even some behavioral disorders. And the site says it can even contribute to things like liver cirrhosis, some cancers, some heart diseases, and even increase the risk of road clashes and alcohol dependence. So again, just try to stick to water if you can. It's just the overall more healthy choice. And now you know. And with that, we've come to the end of our show for today. But thanks again so much, as always, for joining us. And be sure to tune in again next time, because we're going to have so much more, as always, in store for you on Valley Por Vida. We'll see you then.